Hello everyone, my name is Jimmy and welcome to The Last Lap, and in today's video we're going to be recapping the action from Dover Motor Speedway, the Xfinity, and the Cup Series race. But before we hop into it, just want to remind you guys to hit that like button and subscribe button. You can also hit that little notification bell that will notify you as soon as we upload a video so you can watch it right away. But let's go ahead and hop right into it. As always, I have my friend and co-host Matthew joining me on the show, and if you guys can't tell by my outfit, not even by my outfit, by the title of the video, the thumbnail of the video that Matthew's gonna make for me, that's just gonna look so good for you guys. My man finally got his first win of the 2022 season. Chase Elliott did in fact getting the win at Dover, but we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. Let me just show this Chase Elliott 2018 Dover race version diecast right here. I'll even show it on the camera just for you to see it right there. You see that? Like, that's gonna look so good with the next gen car and everything on it.
I don't see it.
So I'm gonna show the camera too. So I'm just gonna put.
Yeah, I can't wait for mine from Bristol Dirt. It's gonna have dirt on mine.
I'm gonna put this back here in a minute, but yeah, Matthew, how you doing, buddy? You got your chance to talk about your guy winning at Bristol Dirt. Now it's my turn to talk about my man getting the win. But
it's my turn. It is. You told me it was my turn.
All jokes aside, how you doing? Feeling post Dover, and you could, once you're done saying how you're doing, you can hop straight into the Xfinity race recap because I didn't really watch much of that. So go ahead and tell the fans how you're doing on this wonderful Monday afternoon.
Well, just like how I said about Kyle Busch at Bristol Dirt, he got so lucky on this one, and Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman got so unlucky here. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, besides that, I'm having a good day, and yep, I just finished my last ever class in college. I'm graduating in a couple days, and I'm ready to graduate from college. But anyways, on to the Xfinity race. Josh Berry won Dover. It was mostly a JRM dominated race. We saw Sam Mayer up front till his pit crew actually, for once, the Xfinity car with 5 lug nuts, they lost a wheel after a pit stop. And yeah, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think Junior Motorsports uses the Hendrick Cup guys pit crews, so that's something we gotta look out after, because I forgot which team from Hendrick goes with Sam Mayer. So depending on who it is, it could be that could impact a little bit. Let's see. Justin Allgaier basically dominated that race, but it was Josh Berry at the end that was able to pass him and win that race. So that's Josh Berry's first win this season, and we'll see how he does with the rest of the season.
Yeah, I didn't even know about the tire falling off, and I checked Twitter after the race and didn't see that. So I did not know about that, so that was very interesting that ended up happening. I did see the one restart where Josh Berry ended up taking the lead from Justin Allgaier. That's basically all the race I saw while I was at work, and Josh Berry went on to win it from there, so huge congratulations to him. Noah Gragson also did end up winning the Dash for Cash, so props to them. JRM getting the, I guess you could call it the sweep, quote-unquote, getting the race win and the Dash for Cash, so great for them to end up doing that. But now we hop on to the Cup Series race, and there was unfortunately a rain delay on Sunday. After it was 60 or 70 laps, there was a rain delay, unfortunately. So the race did get pushed back to Monday, aka today, the day we're recording this. And it was a fair share of incidents on track today. You know, even from practice, we saw a bunch of drivers struggling with the race car, a lot of cars bottoming out, heading into turn 3 over the bumps, a lot of cars spinning out. So we expected a little bit of that today, and we did end up seeing that as well during the race. Austin Cindric, he got into the wall very early. Ryan Blaney he couldn't slow down and hit Todd Gilliland and sent him into the wall as well. Austin Cindric would be done for the day. Denny Hamlin would end up winning stage 1, but that was all pretty much we would see of Denny Hamlin throughout the race today. During pit road, his crew did not get the one lug nut tight. They had one job, they did not get that lug nut tight, and he was going down pit road, leaving pit road, and his tire fell off, and it almost beat him off of pit road. It was like a drag race. Denny Hamlin versus his tire coming off pit road. That was pretty funny. A lot of memes and videos on social media I've seen of that, so that was pretty funny. But that will more than likely be a fine and suspension for the crew members and the team and all that stuff. In stage 2, Kyle Larson spun off turn 4, and he did save it. It wasn't as impressive as Jimmy Johnson's save from 2006 or 7, I believe, when he in qualifying when he like spun it and kept doing donuts down the front stretch. It wasn't that impressive, but it was still a great save from Kyle Larson there. He was able to repair that car with minimal damage and continue the race. AJ Allmendinger also, him and Kurt Busch got together, all coming off of turn 2. Kurt Busch ended up getting the worst of that, unfortunately. He would spin down the backstretch, hit the wall on the inside, and pretty much ruin his day. I think he could still finish the race, but he went several laps down, so that was an unfortunate break for him. Eric Jones and Joey Logano, they made contact on a restart. Joey Logano got the worst end of that. He struggled all day for the most part. The man, the myth, the legend, Cody Ware, he's back again with the weekly Rick Ware Racing cautions. He spun off turn 4, and Denny Hamlin ended up getting collected in that. I'm not really sure what him and his spotter was thinking, because Cody Ware was sliding towards the inside wall, and Denny Hamlin went to the bottom to try and avoid him, and he ended up getting clipped in the right rear, or right door, I guess I should say. So I don't really know what his spotter and him were thinking. He should have just slowed down and went to the top side and would have easily avoided it, but unfortunately he got collected in that. The end of stage 2, Ryan Blaney ended up staying out, and it was like a 2 or 3 lap shootout to end the stage, and he would end up holding off Kyle Busch and several others on fresh tires, which I have no idea how he did that. But other than that, that's pretty much what we saw from the Fords all day. At this point in the race, it was mainly Toyotas and Chevys dominating the race, particularly Joe Gibbs Racing and Hendrick Motorsports. Ross Chastain was up there as well in the first 2 stages, but it was mostly Hendrick and Joe Gibbs drivers leading laps. In the 3rd stage, AJ Allmendinger lost a tire after green flag pit stops, and like as always, that will probably be a fine and suspension for those crew members and that team. And Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman pitted right before that happened, and unfortunately, the way the caution came out, that did not go in their favor, because sometimes you get lucky and you're on the lead lap and you can take the lead, or sometimes it could play not in your favor and you can go a lap down, and that's unfortunately what happened to those 2 drivers.
Yep.
At that point, after that, Ross Chastain did take over the lead, and he was the control car for a few restarts, and Chase Elliott was second for most of those restarts, and it was actually very competitive, those restarts between Ross Chastain and Chase Elliott. I was holding my breath the whole time, hoping they wouldn't wreck, because I know Ross Chastain can be a very aggressive driver, and he was pinching Chase Elliott down very, very aggressively, so thankfully they didn't wreck. There were a few more restarts after that. Daniel Suarez ended up spinning, Tyler Reddick ended up spinning, and after that caution, that would be the final restart, and Chase would actually take the lead from Ross Chastain. I believe that was 40 or 50-ish laps to go, somewhere in that range. Chase Elliott took the lead from Chastain on the bottom, surprisingly, because the bottom has been known to be very difficult to manage and keep your track position, but for him to take the lead was actually fairly impressive. But after that, Chase took off. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. ended up climbing up to second, so that was a great run for him. The white flag lap, actually, there was contact between Martin Truex Jr. and Ross Chastain. They couldn't get away from each other all day long. They were fighting for, I would say, like 70% of the race for position. And according to the replays, it looks like Ross Chastain came up off of turn 2, and Truex tried to like give him a bump, but that didn't work out, and Truex lost control of his car and ended up wrecking. So the race actually ended under caution, which I didn't know until afterwards. But yeah, Chase Elliott would go on to get the win, his first of the season. Let me go over the results real quick, and then I'll give my quick 2 cents about this. So Chase Elliott getting the win. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., great run for him in that team. They ended up finishing second. Ross Chastain finishes third after that mishap with Martin Truex Jr. Christopher Bell fourth. Alex Bowman climbed back up to fifth. Kyle Larson 6th, Kyle Busch climbed back up to 7th. Chris Buescher 8th. He was up there all day, so great run for Chris Buescher. He was leading. He obviously started on the pole. He led some laps. He was very strong all day long. Probably the only Ford up there most of the day. Kevin Harvick right behind him in ninth. Another Ford that was lurking around the top 10 all day. And then Eric Jones gets a top 10. So great run for that Petty GMS team. So let me quickly give my 2 cents on this race real quick. So I'm just going to shout out all the haters out there who, Chase Elliott.
There's barely any haters. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think I'm looking and talking to one right now. So,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Besides you, just for everybody else out there saying, oh, Chase Elliott was the only Hendrick driver not to get a win yet. Well, he got his win, so thank you very much. And to all those people who are saying Chase can only win on road courses, like the you gotta put the SpongeBob meme in there too. You gotta be like, Chase can only win at road courses. Well, he can.
Well, he does.
That Dover win back there. That's where he got his first oval win, and he just got another one at Dover.
Long time.
Anyways, all jokes aside, I thought it was a great race. I'll hop into my rating a little bit later, but Matthew, go ahead and tell these fans what you got to say about this Cup race, and you can. I'm sure you're gonna throw a Mickey Mouse comment in there too. So go ahead and get it out of the way, and just tell the fans how you feel about the race.
You know what you made me just thought of just now? This Bubba Wallace at Bristol Dirt is like, hey Kyle, be careful all the Mickey Mouse tweets when you get them. That was funny, but overall, that was a really great. I thought it was a really good race. I think what saved this race. I think what made this race good was actually being on Monday instead of yesterday, because I think when that racetrack was on sunshine and all, I think it made better racing than it was yesterday. And when the first 70 laps, when it was cloudy and cold, raining, I think these cars, in my theory, are really, really weather sensitive. Because I can tell, especially Martinsville's the big example, how cold and wet that race was. It was not good racing at all. And I think I was seeing a little bit of that at Dover yesterday, but thankfully the race was postponed to today when it was sunny, and I think we saw way better racing. So I think these cars are really weather sensitive, which, it is what it is, but you can't do anything about that. But yeah, I think it was a really great race. It was a mixture of cautions here and there. There was a mixture of long runs here and there. Chris Buescher immediately stood out everybody by winning the pole, and that was impressive by him, especially since RFK has been struggling. And it's kind of weird seeing how Chris Buescher is basically being on the good side of headlines more than Brad Keselowski has been, which, if he would have said that in the beginning of the year, I wouldn't believe that, but here we are. But, yeah, I knew Hendrick was going to be really good, because that's how Hendrick has been at Dover. It's always been a Hendrick-dominated track, and it was shown that with Larson being up front, Alex Bowen was out front, Chase Elliott was there from time to time. William Byron was really the one that didn't really show up because of his backup car, which was actually a parts car, just like Kyle Busch at Las Vegas. Except Kyle Busch was somehow able to almost win that race until we got screwed out, which we'll get to that part in a little bit, part two. But William Byron kind of struggled today. Like you said, the Fords were definitely downright terrible today. Ryan Blaney was really the only bright spot with winning that stage somehow on old tires. Which, I mean, Joey Gunn was terrible today. Also, Cindric had issues. And SHR, I mean, Kevin Harvick was okay, but he wasn't that good as I thought he was going to be. JGR was also really good today. Kyle Busch, who was the dominant car with over 100 laps led today. And Martin Truex Jr. was also up there as well. Ross Chastain continues to be more impressive every race, with him being up the front every race. So he's starting to look more like a championship contender, Ross Chastain is. Just because he seems to be good everywhere right now. Doesn't matter what track. So I can't wait to see how Ross Chastain keeps the momentum going. But, man, Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman absolutely got robbed of this race. They were the two best cars. Kyle Busch was first, Bowman was second. And it's kind of odd for me to say Bowman got unlucky, considering it's always the opposite end, but this time it didn't work out for him. And this is pretty much like the second time Kyle Busch has gotten screwed out of a win again. Just like Las Vegas. Las Vegas was still more painful than this one, but man, who knows what would have happened. I mean, we were on the right pit strategy, and then I guess someone on the 16 team doesn't know how to tighten one single lug nut. I mean, I understand 5 lug nuts, but come on, it's one single lug nut. Come on, it shouldn't be that hard, but apparently it is. So, yeah, this is the reality we lived in, and Chase Elliott basically had the doors wide open for him. So, yep, he took full advantage of that. But, yeah, look, I know it was a matter of time until Chase won, so, yep, he won. So, it is what it is, and we'll see if he can keep up with his other 300 teammates who have won before him. That you can't erase that part. They still won before him. And, yeah, that's all I have to say. It was a really good race, and, look, for you, I'm happy for you, Jimmy, personally, okay? I have to say it on camera before any of y'all Chase fans start getting mad at me over it. I'm happy for you, Jimmy. But I don't care for any of the other Elliott fans, so, oh well, I don't care. But, yeah, that's all I have to say about it, so, good race.
Yeah, I guess the hack and the guy who says he backed into wins, I guess karma kind of caught up with them both. I guess it has just.
And guess what? Chase Elliott backed into a win because of that.
It just.
How ironic!
It just so happened that both of them ended up getting the bad type of hack, unfortunately. But yeah, Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman, they did have very good cars, arguably the best of the day. But track position ended up coming in, like, that's what mattered. And tire wear, that was also a big thing as well. There was a lot of tire incidents throughout the day, and I'm surprised they made it those last 50 or 60 laps without a tire issue or a caution. I was honestly expecting some type of caution for a blown tire or a loose wheel or something, but thankfully that didn't happen. But yeah, I thought it was a great race overall. I'll go ahead and rate it first, I guess. So I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I thought, obviously it was, it wasn't too hard to pass. You just couldn't really make your way through the field because the field, everybody would get so spread out. But you could pass. Like, Alex Bowman worked his way all the way up to 5th over that last green flag run. He had a fast car. He made his way up to 5th. So it was just, once the cars got spread out, it was kind of hard to gain ground and pass them. But I thought the next-gen car performed pretty well. Obviously, a few mistakes on pit road with some wheels falling off and all that stuff. But I thought it was a great race. I loved how tires actually mattered at this race, unlike Martinsville, where they ran like 150, 200 laps under green and nothing happened. So I like how that was a factor in it as well. But I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. Matthew, what are you going to rate this race at Dover?
I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for me. I thought this was, so far, the best race that's not a mile and a half or bigger so far. I thought Phoenix was, but Phoenix kind of ruined it for me with that resin crap that they put on there. I don't like when they do that. I like it when it's the actual surface. You got to work a line in. So yeah, I think this was the best mile and a half less track on the schedule so far. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, and there were drivers working like the third lane at Dover too in this race, which I don't think I've ever seen it, at least in a long time. I haven't seen that at Dover. So, like, we saw drivers running up almost against the wall near the end of this race. So, yeah, I thought it was great. The next-gen car performed well. The tires were good. Overall, a very good race. A mix of action as well. Some drivers spinning out. So, very good race. As for our fantasy points, the total hasn't updated yet. But for the race, you ended up getting 211 points. I got 206 points. So, great day for both of us fantasy-wise, even though I had Austin Cindric as in my lineup initially, and I had to take him out, and I had Denny Hamlin in my lineup too, and he ended up having trouble. So, great day for both of us fantasy-wise. You should be up by 10 points. I'm not going to say the number because I don't want to make fun of myself again because I've done that too many times. But you should still have the lead.
Well, at least Chase Elliott helped me with something.
Hey, I will gladly take losing fantasy and having my driver win. I will do that any day of the week. So good for you that he was in your lineup. Great for you, but I could care less. He won, so I'm happy for that. I'm happy for you that he helped you in your fantasy lineups. You can be somewhat happy for Chase Elliott today.
We'll come back to that in November.
All right. Well, do you have any other closing thoughts before we go ahead and wrap the episode up?
Yes, I do actually. I don't know about you, but Cole Custer has been an absolute embarrassment to Stewart-Haas Racing. I mean, I know he got a top 15 today, good for him, but besides that race, he has been an absolute embarrassment. I mean, comparing to his other three teammates, Chase Briscoe at least won. Kevin Harvick's been consistent. Eric Almirola's been consistent. They're all three of those guys are in the playoffs right now as they stand. Where's Cole Custer at? He's not even in the top 25 in points. In a Stewart-Haas racing car, heck, Ryan Preece in a Rick Ware racing car was able to out-qualify him. That is saying something. And look, Cole Custer, he was supposed to be up there with Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell as the next rising stars in NASCAR. Christopher Bell at least has won a race in his sophomore year. At least Tyler Reddick, I know he hasn't won yet, but he has come so close to winning so many times that I consider him a rising star. I know Cole Custer won it in his rookie year at Kentucky before those two, which was impressive because it wasn't a super speedway. It was in a mile and a half. But besides that, we haven't found him at all. He's nowhere near to be seen other than him being wrecked basically every weekend. So they need to do something with him. I mean, I don't say get rid of him because I know he's young. You gotta give him time, but I mean his rookie year was basically his best year, and he's gone worse. He's young and he's gone worse. How does that happen? I hope he turns this season around because I like the guy. I think he has talent because clearly he was able to dominate Fontana in an Xfinity car, so he can win. But clearly he and the Cup Series have not meshed up together. So, yeah, that's something I wanted to say for a while now. So, yeah, kind of random, but yeah, that's all to say.
Yeah, that's a great thought to close on. I mean, look at Chase Briscoe this year. He's got a win already, and he's run strong at a lot of races this season. And Cole Custer, quite the opposite. So, I think we'll actually we'll touch on Stewart-Haas Racing in our predictions video for next week because there's some drama revolving around them right now, what they might do next season. But we'll save that for later. I'm gonna bring it back, to my guy winning this week at Dover. So we'll close on that note. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. We hope you all enjoyed it. A lot of good action from Dover this week. We are heading to Darlington next week. Throwback weekend is next week, so maybe we'll throw out a lot of different paint schemes that week because there's a bunch of good throwbacks. But yeah, watch out for our Darlington preview video. That'll be out later this week. But until next time, we will see you guys in our next video.